Welcome back to Studio F1 on Fast Time to Believe B. We'll be moving on to the final destination. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Time to Believe B. I'm Willy B. I've got Mo with me, and we continue on our journey to the final destination, even though it's not the final destination. They thought it was, but as all things go, why stop? You know?
Yeah, I mean...
People are eating it up. Keep going, right?
I mean, yeah, with the concept they have, I think they could keep making these movies till, like, the end of time.
Yeah.
They're just eating on everyday fears.
Yeah.
I mean... And with how we keep going, there's more and more fears that keep developing. So they could make these as long as they want.
For sure.
It was stupid to just try to end it at 4 and call it assuming that it's the end. No, it's not going to be the end.
It's not the end. Death has no end.
Yeah.
But we jump to 2009 now for this one. And we have David R. Ellis back in the director's chair. So we're doing a little flip-flop here for 1, 2, 3, 4.
Team.
But cast-wise, Bobby Campo, he plays our main character, Nick, and he's really the only person I recognize in this movie. He's also in Legally Blondes.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a bunch of lesser known, but...
I was going to say, I think it's funny because when I was looking up like stuff on IMDb for this movie, he was not like, when you look up a movie, they usually put the main character and then all the supporting actors first, even if the supporting or the main character is not that recognizable or notable. No, in this one, it's weird. When you look at it, the first actor it pulls up is Hunt.
Oh, interesting.
Who plays him. I don't know him off rip because I haven't seen him in anything else.
Yeah.
But he's the first name that pops up, and then it goes Lori, then...
Bobby Campo.
Yeah.
Interesting. But we'll start with the good. And where do you want to start?
I was going to say, I even told you before you hit roll on this, I was like, I don't know if you're getting much out of me in the good in terms of this, because may have been in previous episodes. We're on our 4th episode of this, so I'm losing what I said in previous episodes, but I did have these higher ranked before until this rewatch today, and I just thought, man, what was I thinking? Or was it more of a, like, I was just biased because, like, I seen these movies as they came out compared to the originals, to where I held them at a higher level.
Yeah.
And now getting to see Bloodlines and now being more level-headed, watching them back, I'm like, yeah, that was all fluff. That was all just fluff of seeing this as it came out. But now being able to look back and look at it, it's not that good.
No. I think I thought the same. This was a movie that I watched when it came out, so I'd have been 12 years old. And I think nostalgia was playing because I haven't seen it in a while, and I was like, oh, I remember enjoying the one with the NASCAR race. And as I was watching, I was like, woof. Things I'd put in the good, though, I like, we get a second premonition in this one, and I enjoy that second premonition.
Yeah, that one, I do like that a lot. Especially the kills in that premonition.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were so good, that's when I asked you, I said, should we include those kills? And then just blatantly saying, I want to include them. Because they were cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice of those premonitions. I do like that.
And then I would say they definitely get creative with some of the kills. Not my favorite kills in the franchise, and we'll get into our rankings at the end of the video as we have in the past 3. Other than that, I don't know if I have much more to say.
I was going to say, in the good, this will just be a personal favorite of mine. I like cars, I like racing, all that stuff. So the opening scene, I do really like a lot. That's just me. I do, like, all the other ones, like the roller coaster in 3, I do like that a lot because I love Cedar Point, I love roller coasters. So the opening scene kind of gets to me because I'm like, I like racing.
Yeah.
I like NASCAR, I like all that stuff. So it kind of gets me there.
If they played Daytona during it would have been a better scene.
Oh, this would be like this would be fighting 3 for top spot just for that. And this, if I do it, it has to go out to somebody. If I do you know what I'm about to
Oh,
do.
go ahead.
It has to go out to Turbo.
Okay.
Because we were playing Forza the other night, and he would not stop saying it. And then when I would say it, he would just keep going on the do 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 do.
I love it.
It's so good. Yeah. Other than that, not really a whole lot outside of the kills in the good. Like there's some kills that are very very good. Honestly, some higher up in the franchise, but outside of those, not a lot for me, honestly.
So we'll hop to the meh. This is where I'd put the kills collectively as a whole. I agree. There's a couple. I'd say there's 2 that I really like. Other than that, I mean, what we lumped 3 together, and that put us at a total of 10. The other 8 aren't doing much for me. I'd say 7. There's 2 to 3 decent to great kills. The other 7 didn't do a lot for me, so I put the kills in the meh, because I definitely think once again we get a step down in that department. I'd probably put the acting in the meh, because I thought there were some moments like I probably enjoyed Bobby Campo, and I probably should have put him in the good. But then there's just like I think Hunt's character is a little over the top at times.
That's what I was gonna say. Some of the characters and the meh still, of course, like the logic of some of these characters, but that's something you can't really control. It's made to be like that, like Janet going through the car wash. Like, if I had a sunroof and it was on the fritz, I wouldn't think about going through an automatic car wash.
Yeah.
I would not think that. And she didn't even, like, fully close it before making that executive decision. It was still open while she was paying, and then prayed and hoped that it would close. And then once it did, she was like, oh, I own you. Get out and wash it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, the meh. I don't know what else I would want to add on to the meh, to be honest.
I have a lot of stuff in the bad. I would say we can probably move on to the bad.
Okay, that's fine, because and if you've been watching this long, you see we take a bulk amount of the time in the final thoughts and rankings.
Yeah, we're moving swiftly through this one. The bad, I think the most noticeable is the effects.
Oh, yeah, they take a huge downgrade in this one. Like, the budget must have been just severely snipped, or they got lazy.
I think what happened is, I think this one has a bigger budget than the first 3. I just think they went too deep on CG.
Oh, yeah.
Where the first 3, they kind of rely more on practical. This one relies heavy on CGI. And it's rough. It's very, very bad CGI.
Especially in that opening scene. Like, I mean, when you get the flaming car barreling towards Jonathan, that had to have cost a lot. Probably more than a down payment on a house. To get that.
Yeah, and it's not just like, his little visions he gets before each kills. Those are awful.
So bad.
And then like there's little things too, like Hunt's kill. Overall, a cool kill. The guts remind me of Jaws 3D. So it's just stay practical.
Yeah.
And this could have been better.
Yeah, I mean, Hunt's kill, every time I see it and see just all the, like, guts out there, I'm like, it's as if, like, a kid just went on, like, a rampage at, like, the Giant Eagle, like, meat section, just threw all of them out, like, out of the packaging.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's rough. But the special effects definitely deserve a spot in the bad. I think they're the big bad of this movie. Continuing with the bad, I mean, we kind of touched on it. The characters aren't as likable as some of the characters in past movies. I mean, in past movies, we've had some unlikable characters, and you have to because it makes it feel a little better when they get killed off. But this one, it's just like, there's really not much pulling for you other than Laurie and Nick.
Yeah, I would say part of the bad also that I wanted to add in is the complete disregard for Jonathan's character when they were trying to map out everything. They completely forget about him, and it's not until that last vision, or not even the vision, it's the news channel.
Yeah.
When they bring up him and they're like, oh my god, yeah, what happened to him? Granted, they did think he died.
Yeah.
But, I mean, don't you think when he was going through all of the people that he had interacted with, he would have mentioned the cowboy again and been like, well, let's check up and see what did happen with him.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't part of that initial group that walked out.
Yeah. I just thought of something it's kind of so bad it's funny. None of these movies have earth-shattering dialogue,
Yeah.
but this movie's dialogue is exceptionally bad.
Mm-hmm.
And a scene that sticks out to me is after they survive the second premonition, he's walking around, he's like, that should be tighter. And he shows his arm, and he's like, I'm like,
It doesn't hurt to be safe.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
and
I thought that
it's
too.
the worst cast I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was like, what's that saving?
Yeah.
Like, it was, as soon as he said that, I remember I was just sitting in my chair, and I was like, the worst line's gonna come here. And then when he said it, I was like, cornball.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And as soon as the guy's like, we'll get someone right on that. Why don't you?
Yeah.
You're right there.
And they never do.
Yeah.
Which leads to a pretty bad ending.
To a very lazy ending.
Yeah, it's a lazy ending, and I don't like that it's like the Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the X-ray style.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. Because they don't just put the bodies in the X-ray, they put everything. So it's like, what am I even looking at? Is that actual blood, or is that like an assortment of like trail mix that went flying off a table?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah. And then I would also throw the George kill here in the bad.
Oh, yeah, that was just lazy.
Just because it's obviously paying homage to Terry's.
Yeah.
But why is that ambulance going 120 through a hospital loop?
I was going to say, it's like, why is it rushing? It's already there.
I mean, the bus, it's a stretch too. One, it's the first time they did it, so it has a little special place for that. And the bus didn't feel like it was going as fast. This ambulance felt like it was cooking through that hospital loop.
Like, George was already splattered before Nick could fully turn around to shout, look out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That ambulance, it pisses me off.
It was cooking.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else for you in the bed?
That's what I was trying to think, is that, like, we have so much more in the bad, but it's like I can't exactly put it into words. It's just more of a, like, you have to experience it.
This
you have
movie
to. You have
bad.
to. Yeah, you gotta be there to experience the bad in this. And if you put it on, then you'll see what we're talking about. Where you're just disappointed.
Yeah.
Especially if you follow up after the first three.
Yeah.
And with 3 being the masterpiece that it is of the franchise, the gem.
The gem. This is the black sheep for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with? The Final Destination, and what do you give it out of 10?
The Final Destination I'm going to leave off with is that it could have been better. It had so much potential to be better, and it felt like it was just a really rushed, poorly constructed version of its predecessors, and it sucks. Because, I mean, like I said, my bias opinion is that I love the racetrack scene. So finding out when this was going to take place, like at a racetrack, I was like, oh, this is going to set up for such a great movie and everything like that. And then for it to be this heaping pile of skid marks, I just thought, man, I'm fine with not watching that for like maybe a year or so. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
I watched it a year ago and I said, I'm good for now. And if I wasn't doing this, I probably still would not have watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
What do you give it out of 10?
Out of 10? Out of 10? Ooh, this one might be harsh. It might be a brutal rating.
I love it.
I'm going to give it a 5.3 out
Oh.
of 10.
That's higher than I thought.
I thought about going lower. I thought about it. I'm still trying to think if I want to change my mind real quick while this window's open. Fine. 4.8.
4.8. I'm going to go 3 out of 10.
Dang.
Yeah. I really wanted to give it a 2.
Ooh.
But I do like the mall premonition, so I give it a little boost for that.
See, that's why it's sitting higher for me, because at least the mall premonition and like some of the kills, they were pretty decent, even though the CGI was kind of poop.
Yeah.
It's just more of the concept of the kill that gets to me.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll move on to ranking these kills as we've done with the last 3. So we've got 10 kills in this movie. Realistically, there's 12, but we're lumping 3 together, which is the semi-truck Mortal Kombat style kill. And we'll start in 10th. And I think we can both agree, I'm assuming, the Mortal Kombat semi-truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I told you that on the phone. I said, I literally said, I was like, can we just bundle those three, like a triple pack, a
Yeah.
triple feature, because they just get rammed by the truck at once, and it's easy for me to add in because it sucked.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just gonna go to the bottom.
you said it best. It was just a lazy ending.
Yeah, like at the end of 3, when they killed off, they killed off 3 characters in that. It didn't feel as lazy because they still got their own
No.
dedicated like
Yeah.
kills. As for this one, it's so lazy where it's just okay. The construction site, they had one false little thing. They had one thing move. Then the semi just overreacted
Yeah.
and overturned into the cafe, and then just slams them, and that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they try to make it seem special by going the X-ray on each of them and how they die.
Ugh.
But no, I just still bundle it all as once because in 3,
Bad.
we saw them all specifically die, and they died at different times.
Yeah.
In the train crash. So yeah, the truck scenes at the end for me.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything other than lazy. Ninth.
George.
George.
Yeah.
We talked about it already. It's
too fast, too lazy.
Yep. Eighth.
Eighth, I have Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, really?
We're cooking right now, man.
Oh my god.
It's mostly because like this character just disappeared for the entire movie, and then just the bathtub falling through the ceiling. It's kind of laughable. To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, how are you telling me that nurse is like gonna completely ignore that the tub was already like full?
Yeah.
And like, why would they have a tub that big to where it could literally collapse down multiple floors? Like, that should be on a lower level.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be
That
that
old man
heavy.
didn't do enough to really prevent that either.
Like, I'm looking over at the sound bar there, and it's not picking me up when I do that. Yeah. Like, that's him. No.
Seventh.
Seventh, I have Samantha, the mom.
Okay, we're breaking off here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, now if this was her first if it was the premonition kill of her when she took the engine block to the body, it would be higher.
Okay.
But since we're going based off her actual kill, I put it at 7th because it felt like everything that was happening beforehand didn't like the only thing that happened before her death that ended up supplying her death was really just her kids throwing the rocks.
Yeah.
But everything that happened in the salon, like the chair falling, the hairspray exploding, the bottle like spilling, I think it was conditioner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I forget how all these play part of her death. They don't. They really don't.
I kind of like the misdirection, but I'm
Okay.
not going to reveal where I ranked Samantha.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's definitely higher than 7th. And 7th for me, this is where I put Nadia. Just because in the premonition, the tire went a different way, and now all of a sudden it's coming out of the stadium to take her out. So, I don't know. I just felt like it was a weird... I mean, it was definitely shock, but it's just not a kill I love.
See, for Nadia's kill, I always assumed because the 2 tires come off the front of the car, the first one in the premonition is from the passenger side, and it comes and hits her, and then we see the driver's tire just bolt off into the air. So I've always assumed that in the premonition, the passenger front tire is the one that kills her there, and then the front driver's one is the one that we see fly into space and then actually comes down and hits her. Just a little theory.
It's just never a kill I loved. So I'm going to put it in 7th.
That's fair.
6th.
6th, I have Hunt.
Okay.
I have just his character, and I think it's mostly that, the character and the fact that, like, I mean, the pool, they keep emphasizing how clear the water is clear.
Yeah.
You're telling me you don't see that big man down there just by himself for like 5-10 minutes, like nobody's looking down, or all the people in the pool aren't wondering, that guy's been down there for a while, or can like see him like frantically moving his arms and legs.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And plus, how he always said, the effects.
Yeah.
The hamburger meat effects.
Yeah. 6th for me, this is where I put Carter, who is actually credited as Carter the Racist.
Yeah.
I want to rank it higher just because Carter's character is the epitome of just scum.
Yeah.
And the racism was definitely not needed in this movie, as it's never really needed. But I hate his character, but to me it was just... It was a decent kill. Yeah. But it's nothing that I would put in my top 5. So I have it here at 6, but we can hop over to our top 5 now.
Yeah.
What do you got in 5th?
In 5th, I have Janet's second premonition
Okay.
mall kill,
I
where
as well have
the
Janet in
yeah,
fifth.
where the construction all pops out in the theater. Just because I love that, her little breakdown of like, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
I'm meant to see this movie. I love movies, but I'm not gonna be freaking out on my friends like that
Yeah.
or
I
screaming, "This
might.
is where I
I'm
belong." I
kidding.
mean, that makes sense if you do, but not for me. And just the fact that it hits, like the debris hits everyone else, and if you look, she's the only person who gets impaled by a large object.
Mhm.
Everybody else may have gotten like nails, something smaller, debris, but she's the only person who takes a large sharp object right to the stomach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I put her, that second premonition kill at.
Yeah. Decent kill for sure. Fourth.
Fourth, I have Andy, the mechanic.
Okay, this is. I also have Andy in fourth.
Okay, yeah,
We're matching on a lot of these.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had to look up his name for a quick second because they don't really talk to him much
No.
outside of the place, and then the only time we really hear his name is when Lori freaks out in the mechanic shop, and his boss comes up and is just like, Andy, you know you're not supposed to have like visitors in here. Take it outside.
Yeah.
I think that might be like one of the like less than handful of times his name is actually said.
Yeah.
So other than remembering that, I would have to look it up on IMDb.
Yeah.
But I always liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and I think it's been teased before.
Yeah.
In I forget which movie it is. Somebody did get pressed up against a fence or something.
Oh.
I thought it was. I always thought that there was in the past like movies in one of them where somebody got like pushed into a fence or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh well, good thing that fence was there. And that's where I think this kill definitely goes higher for me, is that they've taunted or kind of hinted that like, what if somebody did end up actually going through the fence?
Yes. I think it's cool too because the fence is like not your normal fence. Like if you look at it, it's a little thicker and sharper.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like a goofy side of it with the tank picking him up off the ground.
Yeah.
But this one, it's a pretty solid kill. The cookie cutter kill, you could call it. But yeah, I have it in fourth as well. This is where you start to get into the decent to solid kills in the movie for me.
And what I kind of like more about his kill, and it's kind of just a side note, is Janet, when she's going through the car wash, her sunroof, she calls it a custom piece of shit. So I was like, custom, and we just saw Andy's kill. I was like, are you telling me that she got that done at Andy's job? Is that her connection to him?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've always thought of that. I just caught that.
Yeah. Third.
For third, I have Carter.
Okay.
I have Carter's. It's definitely higher because of like how you said, piece of shit character, morally bankrupt, and just flat out horrible. And I think it's ironic that he went there to go set something on fire, try to cause trouble for George, but instead he ended up being the one to get dragged. And I just love the background. Why can't we be friends?
Yeah.
But the only thing I can nitpick about this kill really is the truck just exploding at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were really, when I first saw it, I thought they really were just going to have him keep going and going until either the engine killed, because if you hear it, it's sputtering real bad.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's barely running.
Yeah.
Or, it run out of gas or somebody was going to stop it. I didn't think it was just going to make it all the way there.
Yeah.
And then to just explode. And, of course, the tacky body part falling right in front.
Yeah. Yeah. For me in third, this is where I put Hunt. It's probably rated a little high, but this one, it probably has the most nostalgia for me when it comes to this movie. Just because it is a very memorable kill.
Yeah.
And it's also a douchey character, so it's good to rank him high because he kind of gets what he deserves. But I agree the effects aren't great on the explosion, but oh god, it's just a memorable kill in the sense that like that would suck to go through.
Yeah.
Like just being trapped underwater while your insides get sucked out. I'm cool.
Left breathless.
Yeah. Yeah. Second place.
Second place for mine, I have Nadia.
Okay.
Like I've said before, I love the ones where characters are crashing out, they're freaking out, and how she's screaming at them, "Have you lost your minds?"
Yeah.
And then the tire coming to hit her and knock her out, and the fact that it's right there in front of the group just kind of adds the dramatic effect to it.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I just love it. I don't know
For
what it
sure.
is.
For sure. For me, this is where I have Lori on the escalator in the mall premonition.
Hmm.
Um, this scene made me scared of escalators for a few years. So it did what this movie's trying to do, which is make you fear life itself.
Fear the everyday life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the scene where the effects look the best too.
Hmm.
But just what a horrible way to go. And then you have Nick just overlooking too, and that's
And him almost like dying himself because he's grabbing onto the glass
yeah,
where it used to be, and it's digging like through his hand and like cutting up his like forearm and everything just to try and save her.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
First place.
I was gonna say I'll just keep adding on to it because
Yeah.
that's what I have at my first one. Even though the nitpicking I said before we rolled is, why are the gears going that fast?
They're going pretty fast.
They are going pretty fast, and I don't think they're that strong to where they should be eating an entire human being.
This is
Granted,
an escalator that's getting you places.
yeah, it definitely
You
is.
go up, you're going up.
Hmm. And it takes first place for me more, especially because how they kind of had the freak accident
Yeah.
where her and Janet are going up and her shoelace gets caught.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like that's gonna play on later something there. And just the effects of it, I think, really get to me, especially how it like chews her up at first and then it spits back out.
Yeah.
And it gives like Nick that little bit of hope where he's like, oh, maybe I can save her, and then it just decides to double down and like just completely disintegrate.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor
But
Samantha.
yeah, that's at my first.
For me, or not Samantha. Samantha is my first. This is probably the most memorable kill for me. Like I said, Hunt has that memorability to it. This one is one that always just stuck with me because of I got my eye on you two, turn around, just smoked.
One eye.
Yeah, yeah. She's got her eye on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. You talked about how you don't like the misdirection. I enjoy the misdirection in this one because it's just a scene where it looks like so many things are gonna go wrong and none of them do. So you're like, oh, maybe it's not her time or her turn. And then all of a sudden the lawnmower. This is also one that like when my mom would ask me to mow, I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't hit a rock. Like,
yeah.
it's another one that just another daily thing. So like I'm always like when I'm driving past lawnmowers, I'm like I'm gonna go to the next lane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is my favorite of the movie.
That's fair. That's fair. Like how you explained. Some of us like the misdirection, some of us don't. I would say I do like misdirection, but not to the extent of this one. I feel like they did way too
That's
much.
For
It's
sure.
kind of like that like little video of D-Way where he's just like pump faking for like a minute straight.
Yeah.
That's how this felt to me.
Okay.
And I was like, I didn't need that many.
Yeah.
Like, come on, just get to it.
Yeah.
But it already felt like they were rushing in this movie a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's where it suffers.
Definitely a big step down, but we're gonna talk about 5 next, and I think we can both agree it's a step up. That'll do it for the Final Destination. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Go check out 1 through 3 if you haven't already. 5's coming your way. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.